Hey there, I'm Tiffany with Peachy Designs. This month's free Procreate lesson is so much fun. We're creating a sticker design using the classic Rosie we can do this inspired look. I'll walk you through how I built this step by step in Procreate, and then we'll turn it into a finished sticker. You can follow along exactly or change things up and make it your own. Make sure to download the free clip art pack linked below so you can follow along, and I'm just going to link everything you're going to need in the description. And of course, I think these are a little more fun with a challenge, so we're doing one with this lesson too. I'm going to share the details at the end, so stick around for that. And if you're new to all of this, you want to dive in a little deeper with Procreate, be sure to check out my Procreate Essentials course. It's made for beginners, and it walks you through using clip art, building patterns, and making designs that you can actually do something with. We even go into POD, print on demand, so that you can actually take the designs you've made and put them on physical products, even if you don't have any equipment. If you want more clip art like the pieces in this lesson, that's what the Clip Art Club's made for. Monthly bundles, tons of variety, everything's hand drawn. It's a great way to design without having to learn to draw too. Again, I'll link everything below, including the clip art that you're gonna need to follow along with this lesson. All right, grab your iPad, open up Procreate, and let's get started. Okay, I am so excited. We are going to be making a sticker with our cute little Rosie here, and I've got some clip art for you. We are going to be using some different tools that we haven't used in the past in any of our past lessons that I've done anyway. So some new techniques and stuff. So I think you guys are really going to enjoy this lesson. So let's jump in. It's better than scaling up because you want to have high resolution and good quality files. First thing you're going to do is you are going to open up Procreate, tap the plus button up in the top, create a new canvas. We'll just hit this plus button at the top. Let me grab my pencil here. And you need to change it to inches. And then we are going to make this 12 inches by 12 inches. I've got it set to 300 DPI. Then just click the check button. It's going to open up a new screen. Before we dive in, I do want to say that I am working in a canvas that's 12 by 12. If you plan on actually turning these into stickers that you are either going to print from home or that you're going to send off to somewhere to be printed, you're going to want to think about this size. You probably, do you want a 4-inch sticker? Do you want a 3-inch sticker? What is it that you're trying to make? So you're going to want to give a little more thought to that. But I just like to work on a canvas this size. I find that scaling down is always much. Side note there, so let's go ahead and jump in. I have linked everything that you're going to need to join into this lesson, so hopefully you've already downloaded all of that. And then if you have, you're going to save it to a file on your iPad where you can easily get to it. And in order to do this step here, you will have already needed to open your files, but then once you have, it will have your file folder down here in the docking station. So you can just grab your file folder and then just throw it up there, and you'll navigate to the folder that you have saved your clip art in. Okay, I know that I talk fast, and that's just my ADHD, so I am mentally trying to slow down how fast I talk. But if I do talk too fast, guys, you can always slow down your lessons and you can pause, rewatch. But I know I do talk a little fast. So, okay, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to grab Rosie and drag her over. And then you just have to tap modify, click that check, and we're going to be using our little speech bubble. All right, it's moving slow. Okay. And modify and then check. And we are also going to use this pattern, or well, paper, not a pattern. Okay. And once you have brought all over the clip art that you want to use, we will just tap this X, and then I'm going to maximize the screen. For the time being, I did not mean for that to be there. I'm going to take this image, the yellow paper, and I'm going to move it all the way to the back, and we're going to turn it off because we're not going to be using it for a little bit. I'm going to tap this speech bubble layer, and I'm going to drag it behind. And then I'm going to select the speech bubble and Rosie. The way that you do that is you just have one selected, and then you swipe to the right to select both of them. Tap your arrow, and I'm going to make it just a little smaller so I have room for everything we plan on doing here. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is, okay, I'm going to grab Rosie. We'll move her down a little, grab this speech bubble, and I'm going to move it up a little. And we are going to then go tap your wrench, tap add, and add text. Let me see, I want to move this text bubble or this text box down. And what order do I want to do things in? Let's start by typing out our words. So I'm going to change the font real quick. You guys probably know by now, if you've joined in any of my previous lessons, that I happen to really love Rainbow Sprinkles by Alicia Ray. So we're going to grab that, and then we'll just tap this X. Oh, no, sorry. Go back, edit text, double tap to select it all, and then we're going to tap our little keyboard, say show keyboard, and then we're going to tap I'm going to make that capital C, can, space, capital D, it. You guys can say, you know, whatever you want with this. You can change the saying, but I just am going to go with this classic one here. And now we're going to move some things around. The first thing I want to do is let's go ahead and make this a little larger. Okay. Now we're going to do a little work with our speech bubble. So you're going to tap that layer. And the first thing that you're going to notice, I'm going to just show you, if I tap and hold that check button, it's going to select a one layer. So the speech bubble is the wrong direction. I want this so it looks like it's coming out of her mouth. And I want to have this other part turned. I want to be able to see everything as I'm kind of working on this. So that's why I do want all the layers on, but I wanted you to see what I'm doing. So we're going to tap our, let's see, our tool button. And we are first going to flip it horizontally. And then we're going to change it to freeform. And I don't want it quite as thick, so I'm going to make it just a little bit more narrow. And then I'm going to expand it out a little. In my head, I'm kind of thinking I want it about where her elbow is. And then this one, I don't know, maybe about right here. And then I'm going to bring it up just a little. Okay, now I want to see the little part of this speech bubble. So I'm going to select warp, and I'm going to do advanced mesh. And then we're going to take right here, and I'm just going to kind of pull this over. So now it looks like this is more where you can see, and it's kind of coming out of her mouth. All right, perfect. I want to take this "we can do it" text, and I want to make it a little bit bigger in our bubble, our speech bubble. So you're going to tap your arrow, and I'm going to switch over to freeform, and this is going to let me make it a little taller, a little wider. But I want to mess with it just a little bit more. And so in order to do that, we're going to use this warp again. We're going to tap advanced mesh, and that's going to let us just kind of move it around a little differently. It's going to let you just kind of warp it. So I'm going to come up here. I want the "we" to kind of come up a little. And this is just like everything else. You're just playing with this for personal preference. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. Now I'm going to take, as I'm looking, my speech bubble is just a little too tall. So I'm going to go back to freeform. And I want to make it just a little bit narrower. Maybe move it up just a little. And then I'm going to go back to our We Can Do It layer. And I'm going to move it just a little bit more in there like I want it. Okay, I did want to mention that when we warped our text, this is no longer an editable text layer. It rasterized it, so you can't just go in and edit your text anymore. So make sure the words are like you want it and the font's like you want it before you manipulate it. The next thing we're gonna do is let's come up to the top and tap your plus button, can't talk, add a new layer. And we are going to grab a yellow color. I like it. I've already have this in my presets, but you know, just grab kind of a yellowy gold color that you like. You can do that by kind of tapping yellow up here and then selecting it on the color wheel right here. But I'm gonna just go with this color I already have. And we're going to use a monoline brush for this. So just come into your brushes. This is going to be in our classic Procreate library. Swipe down and then tap search and type in mono line. And then you'll just select your monoline brush. Then we are going to take and just make a circle. This does not need to be pretty. So I want to show you again. When we make a circle, you do not need to have anything right. You draw your circle and hold, and then up at the menu, you're going to see edit. This menu will pop up and you tap the arrow and then you have ellipse or circle. I'm going to change it to a circle. Perfect. Take your color, drag and drop. If you get a little halo, let me go back and show you again. If you get a little halo, color, drag, drop, you hold your pencil down and you can adjust your threshold. I can't scroll Wyatt, but you can see the little halo, and then if you come over, it no longer has the halo. We are going to duplicate this layer. And we are going to make it a little lighter yellow. You can do this by just adjusting the color on your color wheel here, but I do have a color of yellow already preset. And then I'm going to drag and drop. And then we're just going to tap our arrow, freeform, and nope, not freeform, uniform. And make this a little smaller because I just want to outline back behind it. I'm going to turn on my snapping, my magnetics and my snapping, because that's going to let me get these aligned right. So what I did is I'm just dragging this until I get my little crosshair, and then I'm going to grab that bottom layer. I'm going to do the same thing. And now I know I have I'm looking for the orange crosshair. We are going to take these two circles, swipe, swipe, make them just a little larger. All right, I hope that you guys are doing okay. I know we're doing a lot, and I hope that you are keeping up. I haven't lost anybody yet. Okay, we're gonna end up moving these to the back. I have them on the top because it's easier to see what we're doing that way. Now I'm gonna take this paper, I'm gonna turn it on, I'm gonna drag it all the way up. The only reason I'm doing this is because I like the added texture on our stuff. If you want to keep it solid, you can just skip this step. So I have this paper. I'm going to duplicate this paper. I'm going to take this one. I'm going to drag it in between. So we have square, circle, square, circle. I'm going to take this top one. We're going to do the clipping mask. You can't see what just happened because we have this one on. So if I turn it off, you can see now it clipped here to this first circle. I'm going to pinch these together, and then I'm going to turn this one back on with this check mark. I'm going to tap this in right here, and we are going to turn this to multiply. So now this is a little darker. And same thing, tap here, clipping mask, pinch them together. So now you have your two circles. So it's basically now it looks like we have a little border. We're going to select both of those and we are going to move them to the back. They're both still selected. We're going to grab our selection tool and we're just going to move this circle down a little. I'm going to make it a little smaller also. Just move it to where you like it. Now, the next thing we want to do is I want to make it so it looks like Rosie is kind of, I want her arm and her bow to be sticking out, but I want her body to be cut with the circle. So what we're going to do this is the first thing we're going to do is we're going to duplicate Rosie and we're going to turn off the top layer. So now we have one Rosie. Okay. This is a little tricky, so I'm going to try to go slow. We're going to grab our lighter circle and you're going to tap the image and then you're going to hit select. What that did, you should kind of see these little lines pop up on your screen and on the outside, but it created a selection around just that circle. Now we're going to go back to the Rosie that we have turned on and we're going to take 3 fingers, swipe down, and we're going to say cut and paste. And now you're going to take this, the bottom part, we want to leave the main body of Rosie. We want to leave that intact. Take this bottom one that you just cut off. Don't duplicate. Oh my goodness, I'm having a hard time. Delete it. Okay, now Rosie looks a little funny. We need her elbow back and we need her hair and bow back. You're going to turn on the top Rosie, select that layer, and you're going to grab your selection tool. It needs to be on freehand. And I'm going to turn it so you can see. We're going to selection tool freehand. And then we are just going to draw a little circle around the bottom of her shirt here. When you tap that, show you again. Draw a selection and then tap the dot and it'll complete it. 3 fingers, swipe down, cut. And now it's kind of fun because it looks like Rosie's kind of popping out of the circle. Here she is. That's it. Now you can take the 2 Rosies, you can pinch them together, and you have this really cute We Can Do It. So now you guys want to know how to turn this into a sticker. In order to turn it into a sticker, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to merge all my layers. I am pretty big on keeping layers so I can change colors and change things. So that is a side note, but in order to show you how to make a sticker, I think this is going to be the easiest way. So I'm just going to pinch all of these together. And now we have Rosie. I'm going to move her over into the center. I'm going to actually make her a little smaller so you can see what we're doing. And we're going to go down and we're going to turn off our background layer so that you can see all this happening. All right, we're going to duplicate our layer, tap our magic wand tool, do hue and saturation, and slide your brightness all the way to max. It's going to turn that layer white. I know you don't see it right now. It's because it's on the bottom. So we just have this shape and it's white. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to tap our tool again. We're going to use Gaussian blur. You're going to put your finger on the screen and you can see the number up here. You're holding your pencil on the screen. I think I said finger. And you're going to just start sliding this up. We're going to slide this up to about, let's go to about 15. So you can see your number here. And I went too far. Okay, so we're going to do to about 15. This is personal preference. The wider you make this, the larger this outline is going to be. So we have our bottom layer where we just added this Gaussian blur so you can kind of see it around the edge. But we want to make that solid. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab our selection tool and come down to the bottom. You're going to turn on automatic and then you're going to do color fill when we do that. So automatic, and you're going to tap color fill, it'll turn blue. Now I did want that to be white. So just in order to get pure white, get close to it, double tap, and now it's going to be pure white. And then we're going to grab, I have to do that again, automatic fill. Okay, selection tool, and then you're going to tap on your image, it's important that you have your bottom image selected when we do this, okay? We don't have our Rosie layer selected. And then you're going to tap on it. You're not going to pick up your pencil, and you can adjust your threshold. You want this very close to 100. If not, you're going to have a little halo around it. Around 95, it is going to look a little smoother, but it may or may not affect when you go to cut it. I don't have a Cricut to test it, so I'm not sure. I think it'll be fine around here, but otherwise you can go all the way. It does get a little jagged, but if you are cutting these out by hand, not quite as big of a deal. So we'll leave this around 98%. And now you have a sticker. A little white line around it. If you wanted this thicker, you would have just increased the size of your Gaussian blur. Okay, and if you have made it with me this far, you are doing great. Give yourself a big pat on the back. I want to show you one more way that you can do this if you don't like kind of the jagged edge. So when you do it with the Gaussian blur, you do get a little bit of a jagged edge. This way, it's not as clean of a match because you're doing it by hand. But where you're going to come in is you're going to go back up. If you did not have your monoline brush selected, you probably will want to go ahead and select it. You're going to want to swipe over to the left and duplicate this brush because we're going to want to modify it, and I don't want it to modify your original brush. You're going to tap on it and you're going to go into your settings. We're going to turn this streamline way up. I've got it at about 91%. Increase your stabilization. And then you're going to go to properties and you're going to increase your brush size. I don't know, increase it to about, let's say 150 or so. And then check. And this is going to give you a little larger brush to work with. Let's see. I want to make sure you can see what we're doing. Let me see about how big that is. I think that's pretty good. Now you're going to manually draw in this outline. I like to start where, I don't know how to explain, but how this is kind of a coming out of there. And the reason I like to do that is because it's a little cleaner whenever I match it back up. But I'm just going to take and I'm just going to literally draw right around this. And then I didn't get that quite good over there. Well, it's hard at this angle sometimes, so you would just come in and fix that. Okay, I'm not going to spend a lot of time cleaning that up, but I would have just probably started over. And then I did a color drag to fill that in. And now you have this is where you create a manual line. This is a little smoother, but it does take a little more finesse to get it where you're equally proportioned all the way around. But again, this is personal preference, so you create it like you like it. Now you have your sticker. So now you can tap your wrench up at the top, and you're going to share a PNG image. So you can just navigate to wherever in your files that you're wanting to save this so that you can then grab that and do with your final image whatever you want to. All right, I know we did some things that were slightly more advanced in this one, and I hope you guys have fun with this, and I can't wait to see what you guys create. I hope this gave you a good starting point for creating your own stickers. There are several different ways you can make them. You can print them at home using sticker paper and cut them with your Cricut or Silhouette, or you can even just cut them out by hand. Or you can send them off to a company like Sticker Mule and have them made for you. I'm going to include a link to Sticker Mule that's going to save you $10 on your first order if you want to try that route. All right, here are the details for this month's challenge. Between April 6th, between April 6th and April 13th, you're going to create your own sticker design. Just use one clip art element from this pack, watermark your design, and share it in the Peachy Designs Facebook group using #StickerChallenge. You can mix and match with other clip art if you want to. One random winner will receive a $25 Amazon gift card, and I'll make that announcement on April 14th. If you're watching after those dates, Still, hop in the Facebook group and share what you made. We love seeing what everybody makes. Then just jump in on the next one. We're doing these every month. If you love this project, make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss future lessons. If you're ready to start drawing more of your own elements inside of Procreate, my spring drawing workshop is open right now. It's beginner friendly and really focused on building confidence and helping you get started. If you want more clip art like this, be sure to join the Peachy Clip Art Club for new theme bundles every month, or check out my Procreate Essentials Beginners course if you're ready to dive in a little deeper with Procreate. Thanks again for hanging out with me, and I cannot wait to see what you create.